We begin our lesson number 12, the page Gimel 3, the left column in Hasulam, the line 25. וזה שאומר 5 תראין וגומר וכו'. כוס ישועות, double point. וזה שאומר, and this is what he says, the Zohar. I repeat that this is an abbreviation. וזה שאומר, 2 words. Actually 3. V is N, and זה שאומר, this is שאומר, what he says. 5 תראין, 5 gates, וכו', and ATC. This is also the abbreviation of ETC, וכו'. כוס ישועות, a cup of salvations, double point. 26. היינו, בעת הגדלות, שהי אלין תקיפין, נעשו 27 להי גבורות, אז הם נבחנים ל5 תראין, 28, שהם שערים פתוחים לקבל החסדים דאור 29 ישר point. 26. היינו, that means, בעת הגדלות, in the time of gadlut, שהי אלין, that when 5 leaves, takifin, when 5 rigid leaves. You see, in the Hebrew, the determiners or the adjectives are following the nouns. You see, the shehei alin takifin. The sequence in the Hebrew is that 5 leaves rigid. You see, but we make it another way around. That 5 rigid leaves nasu became 27 lehei gvorot, as 5 gvorot became 5 gvorot. Where nasu is like were made to 5 gvorot. אז הם נבחנים ל5 תראין. Then they are accounting for 5 gates. They are considered as 5 gates. I will explain it later. Just now we are busy with the Hebrew and the plain translation. 28. Shehem sharim petuchim lekabel heyachasadim, that they are the gates that are open to receive 5 chasadim of the or yashar, of the direct light. Point. We go further, we will finish this piece, fragment, and then we will try to give some explanation, additional explanation. 29, after the first point. V'chen hem nikrayim yeshuot mita'am ze, and that's why they are called Yeshuot, salvations, mita'am ze, because of this, literally, because of this reason. Point. Ve'az 30. Nikra Hanukva Kos Yeshuot O Kos Shel Bracha. 31. Ki Bizgulatan Naset Hanukva Kli Machazika Bracha. 32. Shehi Hei Chasadim Hanal. Point. 29. After the second point. Whereas, and then 30. Nikra Hanukva, the Nukva is called Kos Yeshuot, the cup of salvation, or kos shel bracha, or the cup of bracha, of benediction. 31. Ki bezgulatan, because due to them, naset hanukva, the nukva became kli, a receptacle, a vessel, machazik bracha, to keep the bracha, to keep the blessings. 32. Shehi hei chasadim, that this is, what is the blessing? The blessing is the 5 chasadim hanal, as said above. And now we will try to decode what the Zohar said and what Hasulam said. Let's make a review what we learned about, what we have been learned about the Nukva in the last lesson. We have learned that the Nukva had received 5 rigid leaves. That means 5, the power of stringency, the screen, the masach, consisting of 5 grades. Yeah, Keter, Chochma, Bina, Tiferet, and Malchut. There is no more than 5 Sfirot. Everything that exists, that existed, that have been existed, and that it exists, and that will exist, can be explained in powers. That can be explained by these 5 Sfirot. So the Nukwa had only one Sfira in the Atzilut, Keter, and 9 of her were immersed in the Bria. That was the initial state of her. Then she began to grow, and then she received 5 leaves, rigid leaves, means only the masach, only the screen, enabled her not to allow the light come inside here. And why not allowing? Because she had no power to receive them. Then she growed further, and now in the Gadlut, in the Gadlut, she already has the power to reflect the light, the oncoming, the light, the direct light. What kind of light comes to her? The light of the Zeir Anpin. The light from the Zeir Anpin is Chasadim. This is the light of the Zeir Anpin, 5 Chasadim. But the quality of the Nukva is the stringency, the din. And the name of it, 5 Gvurot. It's like Chasadim, but has the power of this stringency, and this is very important because such is the structure of the powers in the universe. Why? This is something that is already a fait complete. How do you call it? In France they say a fait complete. Something with, yeah. No, that is something what already that exists, and it's not a question of why. This is a voldongen feit. So these two powers are, yeah. This is a fact, just that in such a way the creation is made. And so we see it in the world, and the world is Olam in Hebrew, and the world is Zeir Anpin and Nukwa. And that's why we see these two powers in Zeir Anpin is the power of loving kindness, and the Nukwa is power of the din, of the stringency. And so they complement each other. She needs loving kindness, and he receives due to her the chokhmah, the wisdom, due to her stringency, because the Nukwa makes boundaries, and only by making boundaries is the grasping of things, is receiving, actually receiving of light, of good, everything that can be received is possible. So now in her state of Gadlut, she is now able to reflect these 5 chasadim that are coming to her masach, that was built up before, but now she can reflect them. And this light of reflection, this or choser, she does it by 5 gvurot. And now we are turning back to our Zohar 25. And this is what he said: 5 gates, etc. A cup of salvations. 26. That means in the time of Gadlut, when 5 rigid leaves became 5 gvurot. You see now what he says. There were only 5 rigid leaves, and now they became 5 gvurot. It means that they already can reflect the light. Azhem divchanim lechamesh tarayin. Then, in this state, they are considered being 5 gates. Look how Zohar uses the imagination, speaks to our imagination, gives comparisons in such a way that we enabling us to feel spiritual objects, spiritual processes. These 5 gvurot are or choser, yes, are a reflected light, and the reflected light comes from who? Comes from the creation, yes, from beneath, from the receiver. So, and the light, and it's also light, but this light is more dense light than the light that comes to here, the light of 5 chasadim is direct light, is light that comes to here, is uh, is much thinner light, and in the way these 5 gvurot of here, 5 levels of here reflected light form how do you call it? Form gates to allow these 5 Hasadim to enter in. Uh, 28. Shehem Sharim, that these are, further, he says, that these are the gates, Ptuchim lekabel hay Hasadim, the Or Yashar, that are open to receive the 5 Hasadim of the direct light, because the light from Seir Anpin towards the Nukwa are considered as Or Yashar, as directed light. Always look at the concrete situation, in which relationship, in what kind of relation to spiritual items, in what kind of relation to spiritual items involve at the moment of narration, when the Zohar speaks about 2 items. Because in another relation, the light of Zeir Anpin can be Or Choser, can be reflected light. So look always what's going on, who is the giver and who is the receiver. The giver gives always the light that is direct light, and the receiver always can only receive the light by rising the Or Choser, by rising the reflected light. By rising up the reflected light, or Chasadim, the lower stage or step or spiritual level makes, as it were, the gates in where the direct light comes through. (29) After the first point. V'chen hem nikrayim Yeshuot mita'am ze, and that's why he said they are called Yeshuot, salvations, because due to this reason. Point. Ve'az, and then 30, Nikra HaNukva, and then the Nukva is called Kos Yeshuot, the cup of salvations, or Kos Shel Bracha, or the cup of Bracha. And here we can say the cup of the blessing. Here is the blessing. She receives the blessing. But when we spoke, when we have spoken about the blessing of wine, then was the bracha was better being translated as benediction, because then we have a special benediction, how to do it, and then, but what the product, as it were, what comes out of this benediction is bracha, is the blessings. That's what the Nukwa receives now, the blessings. The Nukwa is now the cup of the blessings. Because 31, Bizgulatan, due to them, the Nukwa became a kli, a receptacle, a vessel, machazik bracha, to keep, being able to keep the bracha, to keep the blessing. Shehi hei chasadim, well, which blessing is the blessing that is 5 chasadim. So what she received is the blessing, and the blessing that she received, the light, is 5 chasadim, 5 portions, different portions of loving kindness. That's what she received, and that's why he calls here a cup, because something that receives must have a shape. So by this we see that she has a shape like a cup where wine is pouring, where they pour wine, and the wine is then bracha. So this comparison we see, and it's very plain what we are speaking about, because it's not just comparison, it's not just how do you call it, symbolic, because if you will see the word for yain, wine, and if you will see the word for kos, for the for the cup and other things, you will see that the gematria also shows that no other words could be used except these words. Okay, but this will be later probably. Only look at, I see now in the line 30 that there is not a mistake, but a mistake in printing. So because it was scanned, the third word from the end of the line must be, the last letter must be samach and not mem, and letter mem. So kos and not kom. just change it in your copy. Is this a little bit clear? Miriam, you see it? Okay. Yeah, but this is still, it looks like mem. This is mem, so it is better to change it. Okay, but this is how look, it must be the letter like, and also in other places it's not good, because look how it must be. It must be the last letter of it. It's very good that we are learning this, that you must recognize these letters. It must look like in the, line 20, the third word, you see, Eser Sfirot. This is the Samech, must be also here the same. Yeah, you see it? And also the 25, the second word in the before the end. Yeah, Kos. And here is mem, but it's a common mistake. No? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, but in my copy I see square form, and so that's why I said that this is not good. Okay, but then you understand a little bit now the sequence, how it is, how we see the nukwa growing, you see, and now in the state of Gadlut, she is able to receive already the 5 chasadim, and they are called Yeshuot, they are called salvations. See? And furthermore, she says that she is now able to keep the bracha. You see? To keep the bracha, to keep the blessings in her. How? She has already the shape of the kos, of the cup. So she is now a full-grown vessel to receive what is given to her. The next page, Dalet, page 4. The right column, the line 1. V'hinei, mispar hasfirot, hen בבית בחינות, או במספר 10, שעיקרן הן 5 בחינות כנ"ל. Point 1. והנה, and see, to it, that mispar Asfirot, that the number of Sfirot, the Sfirot, Hen Bibet Pchidot, this has 2 aspects. O Mispar Eser, whether the how do you call it, whether the mispar, how do you call it, whether the number 10, whether in the number 10, so whether it is 10, we can say that the amount of the sfirot is 10. This is one in one way. Sheikaran hen chamesh, that in basically they are in basically 5 aspects. It's a word aspect that the Zohar uses very frequently, and also in other parts of the Kabbalah they use the word bechina. This is a very common word. Aspect, level, step, many meanings, but very similar to each other. So there is one way is to say that there are 10 sfirot, but mainly they are 5. So 10 sfirot, but we can see them, they are in, actually they are 5. This is one interpretation, he will explain it to us. Point O, bamispar, 3, Yud Gimel. We heard about this, what he told us, yes? So one amount of the Sfirot is 10, but we know that they are 5 because the Zeir and Pin consists of 6. So they are 5. But we call it sometimes 10 and sometimes 5, but this is actually the same approach. O bamispar Yud Gimel 3, Kmo Yud Gimel Midot Arachamim. Or whether bamispar Yud Gimel, in the number 13, Yud Gimel, Yud is 10 and Gimel is 3. So Yud Gimel 13. Kmo Yud Gimel Midot Arachamim. So as the 13 attributes of mercy. Point. וההבדל ביניהם הוא שהמספר 10 מורה על ספירת זון 5 שיש בהן רק אור חסדים לבד. Point. וההבדל ביניהם is, and the difference between them is, שהמספר 10, that the number 10, מורה על ספירת זון, teaches about, or points out, but literally is teaches about the Sfirat Zon, the Zeir Anpin and Nukva. 5. Sheyesh bahen rak or chasadim levad, that they have only the light of chasadim. So if you see, when it is, the Zohar speaks about 10 Sfirot or 5 Sfirot, that means that in the Partsuf that the Zohar speaks about Partsuf, about Zon, about Zeir Anpin and Nukva, and only when they have when they receive only the light of Hasadim. Actually, in Katnut, in the state of Katnut, point. V'hamispar Yud Gimel 6 More Al Hamochin Deharata Chochma Hamekubelet 7 Lezon 5 after the point. V'hamispar Yud Gimel, whilst the number 13 Yud Gimel 6 More teaches about, or points out, teaches about Hamochin, the lights, and Mochin comes from a word moch, brains, but the light that comes from the head, from the place of the head. It can be the head of Abba V'Yima. We will learn it, but the light that already is in a Partsuf that comes from an upper spiritual object. And then he says, and the number 13 teaches about the Mochin. Remember this word Moch and Mochin. Moch is singular and Mochin is plural. Teaches about the Mochin, the Harata Chochma, with the shining, with the shining of lightening, of illumination of the Chochma. That there is Chochma, the light of Chochma comes within. Hamekabelet lezon, that receives, that is receiving by zon, that zon receives, can we say. Point. V'inyan ze mitbaer lehalan b'marot asulam. And this question will be explained below in the commentary Marot Asulam, the vision of Hasulam, of the Sulam. And this is this additional commentary, I would call it sub-commentary, will just be, we will come it across just on over 2 pages in the page in the page 5, where he will explain all the numbers that he used before. There are several places, maybe 6, 7 places in the whole Zohar, in the whole 21 volumes of the Zohar, where he gives this additional commentary. Do we need some more explanation about these things? No. It will come step by step. 8. Velmer. Only keep in mind that 5 Sfirot, then it is Chasadim, and 13 Sfirot means that already the state of Gadlut, where 13, I mean the number 13 means that in the time of Gadlut, that Zon receives Chochmah. And Chochmah is wisdom. Chochmah, a Parzuf receives Chochmah when it is already has fully grown up and is ripe to receive what he calls the 13 attributes of mercy. You see, the 13 attribute of mercy can one receive only in his grown-up state. A child cannot receive it. Child, must grow up, and also in this earthly life existence. The children can receive the light that comes from the holiness, the light that gives life, only when they already grown up. From 13 years and on and further. It means 13 stages that we will study later. But this is the stage of becoming an adult person. Now the kind, Miriam asks me, does a child have less sfirot than an adult person? No. He has all 5 sfirot the same, or 10, the same as a grown-up man, than an adult man. But the sfirot, the sfirot are, as it were, potentially present, but not developed. How is not developed? Look, maybe it's how do you call it? It's not the place, but I will just tell a little bit. Maybe you know that there is something like Sfira Dat. Dat means knowledge, knowing, grasping things. And the child doesn't have Dat, and Dat means knowledge, and this only through the knowledge, through Dat, can one receive the light of Chokhmah. Yes, like we say it in a normal language. Someone has knowledge, and knowledge means that someone receives the Chokhmah, the wisdom. Even in our world, we say it like this. And that, we will see that is as an ambassador of the Zeir Anpin and Nukwa, that are children, as it were, that is upcoming and standing between the Chokhmah and the Binah. And this Dat makes them come in the Zivug, Chokhmah and the Binah, masculine and feminine, making a third line, the middle line, and through this middle line, the Dat, that is actually the Zeir Anpin, receives these lights from the upper level, and the Dat has in itself right and left. Through the light, through the right component of the Dat, in the right component of the Dat, he receives Chasadim, and in the left he receives Gvurot. Chasadim he receives in his right compartment, you can say, due to the Chokhmah that is also on his right hand. And the Gvorot, he receives stringency, he receives from the mother, from the Binah, into his left compartment. And now he has 5 in right, 5 in left, and he gives it to Zeir and Bin and to the Nukva. But he gives it to both to the Zeir and Bin, because Zeir and Bin is higher than the Nukva. But he gives them both to Zeir and Bin in order that Zeir and Bin will give it to the Nukva. Because Zeir and Bin not only just brings them in the same state as he received it from the dad, but he transforms them more and more. That it must be suitable for her to receive these Gvorot and Chasadim. So he gives to her Gvorot, and then he gives her, from himself, he gives her Chasadim. So in such a way, it works. So, but the child doesn't have, the child has what? The child has developed, naturally the child has all these Sfirot, but he has, let's say like this, he has 10 Sfirot, but he has, when he is born, he has only the light of, a piece of light of Nefesh. So all other Sfirot share this piece of Nefesh, of light Nefesh, that he receives. Yes? So, and this Nefesh corresponds only to his state of being a baby. It means that all of his system works as a baby. How? It means that his legs are like baby. You see, like, look at the baby. His legs he can't walk. He can't walk. He's not able to walk first. Then step by step, and that means that when he's lying as a baby, that everything in him is a baby. It means that's why he lies only. He can't even sit. Lying corresponds only with the kilim of the third part. Only 1/3 of the kilim is activated. Sitting already means that someone has already 2/3 a body, but not a head. That's why a child, even the child is already playing, running, screaming, even learning at school. There is no developed da'at. And the da'at is the place, it's a kind of sphera, but it's not completely the sphera, because it's only the presenting of Zeir Anpin and Nukva in the head, presenting them to you in the head, asking for light. And that's why the da'at is only in the head, and due to the fact that a child doesn't have a head, means doesn't have the mochin of the head, the light of the head, the child doesn't have. That's why all his system, all his 10 sferot are filled up only by the light of Chasadim. It means the light of Gvurot, Chasadim. It means the without light of Chokhmah. Not just say Chasadim like mercy, not of, how do you call it, the light of, like Zeir and Pin has. We say it like this, but the child has only, let's say, up till 6/10 of the light. The light of the head, it doesn't have. And everything when a living creature or whatever that lives, a spiritual object, we say, just doesn't have the ability to receive the light of Chokhmah, then this means stringency, din, gvurot, like what we see with children. They are nice looking, nice, have some, are funny like this, and we think that they are nice, but they are receiving only from the unclean powers, unclean system of powers. That we will learn later, that there are two systems in the world. The system of Kedusha, of the holiness, and the system right, and the system left is the system of the Tum'ah, of the unclean powers. But these, they are only in the world's Bria, Yetzirah, Vasiya. But this we'll study later. That's what he said, that the number 10 shows us that there is that the zone have already the light, only the light Chasadim. It means the light without light of Chokhmah. Let's say 6/10 of the whole full light that they should receive, that they might receive. And in the number 13 means that they receive the 13 attributes of mercy. So we see, to be able to receive 13 attributes of mercy, someone must conform to the light, to work on himself, to enable himself to transform his kilim into first into receiving of the light Chasadim. It means only to give in order to give. But this is not the goal of the creation. Then afterwards, this is like what we see the zone when they have the number of sferot only 5 or 10. But then he steadily transforms them, gets a power in himself to receive in order to give. This is something that is not given to anyone in this world. Just only by working on yourself, one can receive it. This ability. Because here also one must come to his maturity, like a child. And so in spiritual growing up, one must come to the maturity, and then step by step receiving more and more, but with the intention to give. What does it mean? We will learn step by step, and you will learn it on yourself. You will experience it on your own, in your own kilim. 8. ואומר שכוס של ברכה המורה על נין המשכת חסדים תוך גבורות שלה כנ"ל. Point. ואומר, and the Zohar says, 8, שכוס של ברכה, that the cup of the bracha, of the blessing, המורה על המשכת חסדים, that teaches or points out to, or teaches about, points out to the hamshachat, the drawing, the drawing down of 5 chasadim, from Zeir Anpin, yes, toch gvorot shela, within 5 gvorot of the nukwa, kanal, as was mentioned above. Yes, that's 5 chasadim. That's what he said as that 5 or 10 means that this is only chasadim. Yes, that the state of when one receives only chasadim. Chasadim is not enough. You remember, chasadim is not enough. We can say loving kindness is good, but it's not enough, because the goal of the creation is to receive, and not just to be to want loving kindness and nothing else. Loving kindness, the light of chasadim, is only the light of correction, is the means to come to the grown-up stage by receiving the light of Chokhmah, the 13 attributes of mercy. That means to the light of the creation. That means the light that corresponds with the goal of the creation. The goal of the creation, the sole goal of the creation, was namely to satisfy his creatures, his creation. Ten, Itztarich lemehave al chamesh atzban. De hainu. 11. Rak bamispar 10. Shehem chagat na. Kanal. Velo 12. Yatir. De hainu. Leapuki mibispar yud gimel. Point. So that's what he said, that the cup of the blessing, you remember what he said, and then he goes further. 10. Itztarich lemehave al chamesh atzban, has to be placed, has to stay upon 5 fingers. And then he explains us, Dahainu, that means 11. Rakba mispara eser, only in the number of 10. Shehem chagatna, that they are chagat, chesed gvora tiferet, netzach and hod, kanal, as said above. Because and Zeir Anpin and the Nukwa has only this sferot, without the sferot of the head, Keter Chochma Bina, they have only these 5 sferot. Chesed Gvora Tiferet, they are like Keter Chochma Bina for Zeir Anpin and for the Nukwa. Velo Yatir, and not more, he said, only 10. What he said, only 5, 5. Dehainu, that means, la puki de mimispar yud gimel. In the contrary to the number of 13. Yeah, in the number 13 it's different. Point. Vata am 13. Who? Ki ein hanukwa reuya lekabel chochma misod 14 hayud gimel zulat baderech hitlapshut ha-chochma b'chasadim. Point. And now is very important statement what he said. Vata amhu, and the reason of it is ki ein hanukwa reuya, that the nukwa is not how to go through ya, is not geschikt, is not suitable to receive chokhmah from the in the essence of in the essence of the Yud Gimel, from 13, from the number 13, she is not suitable to receive. Zulat baderech hitlapshut ha-chokhmah b'chasadim. Zulat, she's not suitable to receive this chokhmah of 13, the number of 13. Otherwise, anders dan door, but only through the embedding in the chokhmah, in the embedding of the chokhmah in the chasadim. again. So the Nukwa can receive the Chokhmah, only the Chokhmah of the number 13, only when she is suitable for allowing the Chokhmah to be embedded in the Chasadim. Only then. But without this ability to let the Chokhmah embed in here, in the Chasadim, no way for the Nukwa to receive all this mochin of Gadlut. 15. Ulefichach itztarich mikodem lehamshich bracha shehem. 16. Hei chasadim aridei hei atzban davka shehem hei 17 הגבורות, ואז יכולה לקבל גם מיוד ג'. 15. ולפיכך, and that's why it's tarich mikodem, first is it needed lehamshich chokhmah, first she needs to bracha, first she needs to draw down the bracha. Shehem hei chasadim, that they are hei chasadim, 5 chasadim, alidei hei atzba'an davka, only through 5 fingers. Shehem hei agvorot, that these fingers are 5 gvorot. Va'az yichola lekabel gam miyud gimel, and then she will be able to receive also from the number yud gimel. 13. So you see there are 2 phases in here, in this stage, that she needs to receive this chasadim, and let him his way, let him comment it further. So we see that how it works with the nukva, that she can't receive just 13, the number 13, like a child, as we spoke about the child, as we said about the child. The same way is with the nukva. Gradually, katnut, and then katnut, and then gadlut. 18. Umashma shehakavana hi al hei atzban de yad 19 small shehem hei gvorot ki hei atzbaan de yad yamin hem sot 20 hei chasadim. So now at the end of the last sentence, he returned to this picture, this comparison with the cup of bracha, of wine, the cup with wine, to draw the blessing. And he said that this cup must be placed on upon 5 fingers. You remember this. And now he says 15, ulefichach, and that's why. No, 18, umashma, and this means shahakavana hi, that the meaning of this is that this points out that it's about the 5 atzba'a and the yad small. This is about the 5. This concerns the 5 fingers of the left hand. Shehen hei gvurot. That they are 5 gvurot. Left, left is gvura. Yes? Look, chesed, in the partsuf, if you see the 10 sferot of the partsuf, yes, then you see that the keter is in the head. Actually, this is in the head. Then chokhmah and binah in the head. They are called mochin. Yeah, they are like kilim, but they are not kilim. In the head, we don't have kilim yet. We're speaking about something that is like beginning of the kilim, but they are not kilim. It's like mochin, chokhmah and binah. In every partsuf, in every 10 sferot, they are like light for the lowers, for the body, for the zeranpin and nukwa. And chesed and gvura are enclosings of the chokhmah and binah in the body of the partsuf, or in the zeranpin. Yes, we know this, but they correspond, chesed corresponds with the right hand, and the gvura corresponds with the left hand. So that's why he says, when he says 5 chasadim, it means that it is the right, it is chesed, the sphera chesed, that has in itself also 5 sphirot, let's say, chesed, gvura, tiferet, netzach, and hod of chesed. And when he speaks about the 5 gvurot, he means that he speaks about then gvura, and gvura is the left hand in the partsuf. And this is the same, we see it when someone, a Jew, when he pronounces a bracha, a benediction, and he takes it in the kos, the cup, in his left hand. It means, and in his, let's say, in his stature of the man, this is like a partsuf, and he takes it in his left hand. It means in the gvura, and then he replace it into his right hand. Now that you see what it means, that the Zohar speaks about the hands, and the left hand has also 5, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, and Hod, but all of them are from the Gvura, of Chesed of the Gvura, Gvura of the Gvura. We call it Chesed de Gvura, Gvura de Gvura, Tiferet de Gvura, Netzach de Gvura, and Hod de Gvura. Now we are turning back to the Zohar. Umashma, and this means that he speaks about the 5 fingers, the Yad 19, small, of the left hand. Shehem Hei Gvurot, that they are 5 Gvurot. Ki Hei Etzba'an, because 5 fingers, the Yad Yamin of the right hand, so they are, in a sense, 20 Hei Chasadim, because they belong to the Chesed. Ulefichach tzrichim lehagbia et hakos shel bracha, 21. Bebet yadayim, dainu, gam im hei atzba'an, 22. Deyad small, kidei lerames, ala kavana hanal dehei gvurot, point. 20. We see it, what he's speaking about. About the Zeranpin, he gives 5 zivug, about the zivug between the Zeranpin and Nukva, whereby the Zeranpin gives here the Nukva 5 chasadim, and she rises up the 5 gvurot towards him, making 5 like 5 gates surrounding him, and this is what he's speaking. The Zohar speaks about using this comparison with 2 hands, whereby ulefichach, that's what he said, lefichach, and that's why tzrichim lehagbia et hakos. One needs to rise up to ascend the cup of the bracha, the cup of the benediction, 21. Babet yadayim, with 2 hands. First, with 2 hands, ascent means not very high, but like, let's say 10-15 centimeters from the table, but at least 10 like this. Why 10? Dahainu, that means Gam im hei etzba'an de yad small, also with 5 fingers, 22, of the left hand. So the left hand is also included first into rising up the cup. Kidei lerabes, in order to make a hint, ala kavana hadal, about the intentions as was set above, the Hei Gvurot, about the 5 Gvurot. You remember, first the 5 Gvurot, to show that the 5 Gvurot are a reflection of this light. That's why they are coming together, 5 Chasadim and 5 Gvurot. 23. Amnam. acharze, but after that, but hilata bracha, in the beginning of saying the bracha, the benediction, tzrichim lehishaer et akos, one needs to leave the cup al heyatzbahan the yad yamin levad, only upon the 5 fingers of the right hand. Ki, why? Ki 25. Ein leorera chizal sitra achra hayoneket mismol. Why? Because one must not awaken the cleaving of the cleaving of the sitra achra, of unclean powers that feeds itself from the left. You see, because right and left, the unclean power will always sucks from the left line, because left is gvurot, left is stringency, and stringency comes is actually the shortage, the leakage, like this. But how come that there is stringency and this is and a shortage? How is it? How did it come into reality? What is the key word to explain it? What would you say, Miriam? How it comes? What is the origin of every shortage that there is? And also, that's why the unclean power leans to the left. There are less of No, doesn't mean. This, in one word we can say that it's tzimtzum. Yes, tzimtzum. From the beginning, when it was the tzimtzum is the first reason, yes, of all possible shortages, shortcomings in the creation. And without without this tzimtzum, without these structural shortages, the creation would not be able to withstand and to come to its ultimate goal. That's why every creature, every person feels shortages, feels the spiritual leakages, all kinds of problems in his life, or she and her life, because of this phenomenon of tzimtzum. Should it not exist, then it would not be any feedback with the source of life. And due to it, every one of us in all generations, we are brought to it we are actually forced to develop ourselves. In our own sake,